can do is you can help ensure that our schools are good, because people want to move into areas that have good schools. And if we allow what's happening in Gwinnett County to happen in multiple other counties across the state, people aren't going to want to move here. And although they did ban masks, I give them credit for that, the state legislature, and they banned COVID vaccine mandates, if we had another pandemic, potentially, we have no idea why Shanghai is locked down right now. If we had another pandemic that does not fall under the guidelines of SARS-CoV-2, you could have some more craziness from these school boards where they're requiring QC vaccines. Or who knows what other, they've moved on from critical race theory to social emotional learning. So we have to make sure that our schools are good so that people want to move here. In terms of economics, I am not obsessed with the idea of being the top state for new business like that. My concern is that the average person in Georgia is able to make a good living, that the quality of life of their family, their kids, and themselves is good. That means we're the number 2 state for new business because we pay people more, because we don't allow illegal immigration that lowers wages, and that's okay with me. I want people to thrive financially. I don't care where we get on the list. I think too much the emphasis on bringing in new business, sort of the greed of these big corporations has put the family and the individual as just a side thought. As long as we bring new business to the state, then we win. Well, not necessarily. If people can't afford a home, if people can't, have flexibility with their job to spend time with their kids because they're working all the time. Like that doesn't mean anything to your number 1 state for new business. People are day-to-day lives are suffering, and it goes to the idea of CEO income is going up, people's income is going very flat.
Kevin? If elected, will you commit to term limiting yourself? If so, what is your commitment?
Yeah, and if you look at the table I have out there, I actually have a written pledge that I have several copies of that I've signed. I do firmly commit and pledge to all the constituents of District 48 that I will not serve any more than 8 years in the state Senate. That's one of the simplest, most common sense things we can do to prevent corruption, to prevent people getting too happy. Because once you get into office, you start having donations from these people who know you have power, and it makes it much easier to get reelected. Money has a big effect on elections, unfortunately. And that's something that you can only stop by having term limits, because it's hard to vote people out when they have so much money to invest in a new campaign. And term limits are an easy, common sense thing. Most people agree with it, but our state legislature has never done anything about it. Many states do have term limits across the whole assembly. I believe Florida has them. And there's no reason we shouldn't have them now. Not only do I put term limits on myself for 8 years, but I would fight to have them across the entire General Assembly. That the people of Georgia deserve that, because as a Christian, I know that we are flawed people. Okay? We are corrupt, and we need salvation. But that also means that if you give people put them in a place where they can become more corrupt and have more power and less accountability to the people who've got them there, it's inevitable by our souls that we're going to become worse and worse and worse. Term limits, there's no reason to argue against term limits. It's a bare minimum barrier of entry. We can't commit a term limit. As far as I'm concerned, we don't have official.
Yes, term limits. Yes, I signed a pledge. 81% of Georgians support term limits, 8 years. It's pretty common. It's a talking point everybody uses. It needs to go across both chambers. Our governors are term limited at 8. Our lieutenant governor also needs to be term limited at 8. Apparently there's not. Our Secretary of State does too. So 8 years is a good number for all of us. I think if you've been there more than 8 years, you've been there too long, and it's time to go and do something else.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. You're each going to get 5 minutes to wrap up with why you. And Sean, you're up first.
As we talked about tonight, we agree on a few things. We contrast on a few others. I have worked to the bone harder than anyone I know. When you're young and scrappy, you fight for everything you have. That's why I started to work in a restaurant washing dishes when I was 12 years old. And you have to take that and build on it. Get through college, get a job, work through college, have a job all the way through. I didn't go to a great college. I went to the University of Alabama. I apologize for Georgia fans in the room when I say that, but I got a degree. I graduated at 21, went straight to the workforce. I worked 2 jobs continuously and have worked 2 jobs continuously pretty much until today. So even through today, the reason I say 2 jobs, one I give freely and one I get paid for. in the company that I work for. I know what it is to sign both sides of a paycheck. I know what it is to hire and fire. I know what it is to help save our Republican Party. I know what it is to go to the state legislature on day one, know the people that are there, know how to navigate. And for all the years that I've been there, I still have stayed true to my core. This is my home. This is where I chose to raise my children. They weren't born anywhere else. All three of my daughters were born at Northside Hospital. They will continue to live here. Everything I have done has been poured into this community. And because I am a third Johns Creek, where I live, because I am a third Gwinnett, where my business is located, because I am a third Forsyth, because that's where we do most of our work. That's a pretty unique set of circumstances to be able to blend together. Because I understand the diversity and the richness of this community, because of our ethnic diversity, it's not just Hispanic and white. It's not Chinese. It's Indian. It's Pakistan. It's Bangladesh. By the way, the Democratic opponent who's going to be on the Democratic ticket is a Bangladeshi, and that's going to be the contrast there. So if you're going to contrast, you have to understand culturally the difference between Korean and Japanese beliefs, and Korean beliefs, and how all of these, Chinese and Japanese and Korean, and you look at this beautiful melting pot that we have. India is a part of it. Latin America is a part of it. Europe is a part of it. My family has been in this country since the Revolutionary War. My family has fought in every war our country has ever been involved in. I am a patriot to the core. I have fought for my business. I have fought for my industry. I lead in everything that I do. And you will never find me hiding behind anything, because this is not a job that I'm seeking to elevate myself or better myself in some way. I'm 49 years old. I'm giving myself 8 years to get it done. So, my cell phone number, the same cell phone number I've had for the last 20 years when I moved to Georgia, the same cell phone number that's on my business cards. You can find me anywhere. And I don't run from a fight. So, with that, I ask for your vote. I ask for your support. I ask you to believe that you're picking someone who's going to lead, who is a proven leader. And it's going to help bring this community together. This is a new district, y'all. This is new. 48 has been around, but the lines are completely different. And we have 3 counties, 6 cities to bring together with that. So, please consider that. Thank you for your time.
So I think really the 2 biggest questions you have when you're trying to get an elected official to decide whether they're a good fit. Can they do the job? Are they competent? Okay, are they willing to put in the work? And are they there for the right reasons? Have they shown that they're not there for any power, personal gain? Have they shown that they're committed because they want to help do the right thing for the community? So if you go on my website, you go to my Rumble channel, you can see me discuss a lot of these issues. Like Greg, I have a very in-depth understanding of the election law. I have a very in-depth understanding of what needs to be done. If you look at my platform, it has stayed the same ever since I decided I was going to run for office. Haven't changed it because I know what the exact issues are with the election system. I know exactly what the problem with term limits are. It's something I stay consistent on because it's something I truly believe in. And there's nobody else you're going to find. There's very few people in the state legislature, I believe, that have the unique mix of having qualifications, being able to understand law, to write law, to explain law, but also they're there because they're a regular person and they're worried about their kids. They have not been involved in any other ventures that have anything to do with politics. Okay, they're there because our country is in dire straits right now and we need regular people to stand up. And that's what I'm doing. So I would say that's probably the most important thing. I'm confident, I can do it, I can analyze the job. I spend all my free time on this. committed to it because they're not going to have a country if I don't. And you, almost everybody on my campaign team is people that I've been working with for at least a year and a half on grassroots election integrity efforts. They know that I'm here for the right reasons, that I'm here because I'm a true believer. If I wasn't, they would not be supporting me right now, and they wouldn't be working on my campaign. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, I feel like it's a movement. After the 2020 election, I feel like a lot of us woke up to the fact that our government, in large respect, was against us. Even the Republican Party was against us. And we've woken up, and regular people are standing up to take our country back to the people. It's really a second American Revolution is the way I view it. Taking government back to the people. And the only way we can do it is by looking at the details. How long have people supported a certain point of view? Have they put in the time at the grassroots level? Because, I think Burt Jones came and talked to the Gwinnett GOP and said, people are going to say all kinds of things right before the election. Look at what they've done day in, day out, all the years prior to that. Have they shown that even before they consider running for office that they are concerned about these issues? Okay? That's how I would advise people to look at. Look at what people have done. And my name is Kevin Grimley. I'd be very honored for your vote. Take a look at my website, like I said. I have a lot of videos up there. And just give it a chance. Just listen and see. Does he sound like he knows what he's talking about? Does he sound like he's passionate? And does he sound like he's putting the time in? And I think you'll find I've done all three in states. So that's what we need in state legislature. Thank you.
There's two items before we're going to ask you to do something that I told you not to do tonight. Number one, in 24 hours, if you go onto the YouTube channel of MB Debate Series, this video will be up. And I will send both of the candidates links. You can put them on their websites. You can send it to their email list, etc. The second, next Wednesday, 27th, we've invited all 5 of the governor candidates on the Republican ballot. I'm not going to be foolish enough to tell you that all 5 will show. But I know 3 are definitely. The whole process here of trying to herd cats, it's difficult, okay, to get everybody all to agree. But I also don't think certain people should be ignored. How else can you make a decision unless you have some exposure? This is all an experiment. I started 8 years ago. Tonight we went back in time, and we went back to the beginning of this country, and you had to go to a forum to find out who to vote for and how, and what they were about. Those forums, and I know some people hate the 2-hour one that I do, were 5 to 8 hours, just so you know. Okay? But it lasted about 85 to 95 years. I'll give you approximates because then the printing press came along. Suddenly Boston has 50 papers, New York has over 100, Philly has over 80. The point is, every one of those papers were opinionated and slanted. You were told how to think and who to vote for. I believe that everybody here has the ability to listen, learn, compare, contrast, and you can make up your own mind. You have gray matter, trust me. Okay, you all took tests, etc. Most people aren't used to going direct. You have a media filter. That's all we did, is eliminate that. I want to thank both Kevin and Sean, and now I want you to give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. I could use some help with some cheering.
Yes, sir. Where does he want the chairs?